Hello everyone, hello everybody, what's up, what's going on? My name is Eli Gazala. I interesting about solved problem and about Middle East and about what's happening in the world and geopolitics and all this and the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and I expert about geopolitics and about geopolitics in the 21st century, and I want to speak about radical Islamism and about this. I'm Israeli, and I want today speak about my plan to solve the problem with Gaza Strip. And today I want to speak about this, about how to solve this, how to solve the problem, how to solve and how to make hostages deal, and how we bring back home all hostages, all Israeli hostages, how we bring them home and let them go, all Israeli hostages in Gaza. One moment. I want to see you need to watch something about maps. I want to share with you maps of Gaza and land of Israel. And this is video talking about the continue the video that I do in my 2025 last May. I make video about my plan for the future of Gaza, my plan in the future of the Middle East, in the future of Gaza, the future of Gaza, and how that I do video about Gaza. And this video continues the video I make in my 2025. I make video about this Gaza and Palestine in 2030, a plan for the day after the war in Gaza. This video make a lot of viewers, and I want to speak with you right now. I must speak with you and share with you maps of one moment. I want to share with you maps of Gaza. Here. Great. Okay, one moment. Perfect. Great. Okay, everybody, what's up? One moment. Now it's great. Okay, let's talking about. Okay. First of all, I want to speak with you about the October 7 massacre. In October 7 massacre, Hamas invasion Israel, and hostages kidnap, rape, and kill, and make the biggest terrible terrorist attack in the history in Israel, in the history of the world, and the biggest massacre and the biggest genocide against Jewish people after the Holocaust. And I want to speak with you and talk with you about this. I want to right now have 20 Israeli Jewish hostages are holding by Hamas in Gaza in terrible conditions. The Israeli hostages holding tunnels in Gaza, and the Hamas starving him, doesn't give them food, doesn't supply them food, water, doesn't supply them medication, and also this, and medical health care, and all this. Hamas is the terrible organization, is terrorist organization. And also, I think that we must in the world, we have a problem that Hamas, it's make a lot of damage. The Israeli hostages, the Jewish Israeli hostages, is our brothers. My brothers, my Jewish brothers and hostages, is holding by Hamas in Gaza, holding by terrorist Islamic jihadist fanatic fundamentalist organization are want to destroy and kill the Western world. And this organization, it's terrible, so much terrible, so much dangerous us, and we must to prevent this organization to and we must to save the life. This story about human life, and also we must to understand this. We must so much to we must first of all to Israel must to protect itself. But I think what it's right and good for the humanity right now, it's ceasefire in Gaza and the war to 2 years, and now have 48 Israeli hostages are died in Gaza. Our bodies are holding by Hamas in Gaza, and 20 Israeli hostages are alive, holding by terrorist Islamic jihadist organization Hamas and Jihad Islami in Gaza. This is terrible, and we need to make everything that all hostages will be free and bring back home and let them go. This is what we need in the world. And first of all, Israel must to say Hamas this message. First of all, Israel supply a lot of humanitarian aid for Gaza and for Palestinian Islamic jihadists, Gazan people. Israel supply more than 5,000 trucks open in Gaza all day to supply humanitarian aid, to supply food, a lot of food going in Gaza, a lot of water, supply oil and caravans and gas, and supply generators, and supply. Israel supplying Gaza medication and supply a lot of things in funding only by Israeli government. Until Israeli government led by Prime Minister of Israel Benjamin Netanyahu open humanitarian aid for Gaza, for Hamas, for terrorism, for jihadism, this is so much danger. This is dangerous. This is not good for us. That Israel is responsibility for the humanitarian aid for a Palestinian. This is only make failure policy, and this is not surrender Hamas. This is improve and make Hamas stronger. because Hamas give humanitarian aid for Israel. I want to remember people are forgotten, the Western countries forgot something. In World War II, that Winston Churchill fight and fight and fight and fight the Nazi Germany. Great Britain and United Kingdom doesn't supply any 1 kilogram for Germanish people, for Nazi Germanish people, because Germany it's in the Holocaust, in the World War II, in World War II era, Germany was the enemy state, the enemy country, because the Nazis and because all this, Germany was the bad side, and United Kingdom was fight for the fight Nazism, fight for the freedom world, fight for democracy, fight for a better future. And Churchill and also United States doesn't give any kilogram for or food or medication or water or 1 liter water for Germanish people in World War II. This is Israel is the only country in the world are give a humanitarian aid for the enemy in the time of war. We are the most I want to say something. Israel is the most moral army in the world, because we give a humanitarian aid. I think is the biggest mistake for Israel. We give humanitarian aid from the money from the Israeli pay taxes. This is terrible. That Israeli pay taxes must do funding Palestinian people. This is terrible. That are kill and massacre and murder and rape and hostages and kill Israeli civilians in 7th of October. Why we need to funding him? Why? I'm Israeli people. Why I need funding Palestinian? And also the damage of the humanitarian aid is this. It's prevent the humanitarian aid for Hamas and for Palestinian people. I want to people need to know something. The Palestinian people is the 97% of all Palestinians support Hamas. From polls of the UN, from actually United Nations polls, the international polls watch, then the majority of Palestinians, the total majority of Palestinians support Hamas, 97%, and 3% support PLO, and PLO want also Palestinian Authority support a country, Palestinian Islamic jihadist fanatic fundamentalist country from the river to the sea. This is what they want. This is what only want to cut off Jewish, the only Jewish state in the world, cut in the world. This is only what they want. They want one thing. The Palestinian don't want a two-state solution. They want one thing. This delete the only Jewish state in the world. Delete the only Jewish state and delete the only Jewish nation and state in the world. This is what thing the leftism and the Islamist jihadist fundamentalists are want to delete the Israel in the maps of the world. And I think we must to the best way and the best plan to make hostages deal and bring back home to all Israeli Jewish hostages. We must bring them home. This is, I think, I'm far-right Israeli. I believe a far-right position. I'm proud to be far-right Israeli nationalist, Israeli Jewish nationalist. I'm proud to be Israeli far-right. I'm a nationalist, conservative, all what you want. I'm real liberal. I'm libertarian, and I'm Jewish fascist. All what you want, but I want even all this. I think we must to bring back all hostages home and make and let them go, and we must say Hamas, let them go all hostages to make freedom to all Israeli Jewish hostages. And I think we must to free them, we must to free them. This is the solution. This is the solution I offer to how to make hostages deal with Hamas to free 20 hostages are alive, and also 48 hostages are dead, and how Israel can to win Hamas. How Israel can to win Hamas and doesn't lose Hamas in this hostages deal. First of all, I think that Israel must to say Hamas this. Without all Israeli Jewish soldiers that IDF soldiers, out of them from Gaza in the surface force. Without all surface force, Israeli surface force in IDF from Gaza. We out of them from Gaza. In one condition, we stop and we end all humanitarian aid from Gaza, and Israel stop to responsibility to humanitarian aid from Palestinian and from Gazan people, and from Palestinian, Gazan, Islamic jihadists, fundamentalists, support Hamas people, doesn't give any humanitarian aid from Israel, and we doesn't responsibility of them. We don't want responsibility to humanitarian aid for Palestinian, and we give Hamas 48 hours, 2 days, to bring all 20 hostages are alive, to bring back home, to all 20 hostages are alive, Israeli Jewish hostages are alive, bring them home, and bring back them to Israel, and Hamas need to return all hostages are alive and all hostages are dead. All bodies of Israeli hostages are dead. Return them to Israel in 2 days, and then Israel give for Palestinian humanitarian aid. We must to play with humanitarian aid. We must to make no military pressure for Hamas for hostages deal, to make humanitarian pressure for hostages deal. This is what I offer, because military pressure doesn't help for to bring back hostages our home, and that Hamas return hostages, because Hamas see Israel are give them humanitarian aid. Hamas this see and watch that international campaign that the United Nations, that China, that Russia, that Iran, or North Korea and Turkey and Pakistan and Islamist jihadists around the world against Israeli Jewish state. And Hamas see this and watch this and say, if the whole world against Israel, if the Israeli monitoring is the law of the law, why I need to, if the whole world recognize and make me renewed to and make recognize to Palestinian state, why I need to bring back all hostages home? Hamas say this, and Israel need to improve to build. Israel must to build influence machine. I do a lot of things to help my country, to save my country, to help my country, to improve my country, and to see real Israel in the world, and this. And also, if Hamas agree this deal, that all hostages back, Palestinian or can the Palestinian people don't Hamas. Hamas are kill, and we kill Hamas and we destroyed Hamas until the end. But Palestinian people give a stay in Gaza. But I think, and I say this in the last video I do about Gaza in the last May, I make this that the argument of one of the biggest argument of the pro-Palestinian, that the biggest lie, one of the biggest lie of the pro-Palestinian is that Hamas or that not Hamas or Gaza is the biggest jail in the world. This is so big lie, because Hamas doesn't border with only Israel. Hamas Gaza common border with Egypt, and Egypt blocked this border in big wall, in big army, in wall and police, to prevent Palestinian people to have freedom. Egypt make genocide for Palestinian people. Egypt makes starvation in Gaza. I blame all this in Egypt, because Egypt doesn't give for Palestinian freedom. Egypt want to Palestinian are starvation, are stay in Gaza, are suffered, and are not good future. And I think that Israel must to do this on Gaza. Israel, if Hamas doesn't agree this deal, Israel take all Air Force and all military Air Force of Israel, and bombed in shit of and all building in Gaza, building in Gaza, and all Gaza Strip doesn't have buildings and are destruction. And Israel must to open the hell gates from the air for Gaza and for Palestinian Islamic jihadists, and to bomb in Gaza. And Israel must to open in the negotiation the open border between Gaza in Egypt, and make voluntary migrants from all Palestinians are wanted and are voluntary to migrate and to leave Gaza. Let them go. Let them Palestinian freedom. Let Palestinian to be freedom. I think free Palestine from Gaza. Free Palestinian people from Hamas and from Gaza and from land of Israel. How is reliable and how is reasonable that Israeli people can to travel in the world and to leave Israel and travel in the world and open and out and exit in Israel and 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 to travel in Europe, travel in the United States, move them and back to Israel. And our Palestinian doesn't have to this right of free movement. I want to free Palestinian from Gaza and from refugees and mind and from free Palestinian from Hamas and our oppressed him. And I wanted this. This is better future for all area. That I think in Gaza we must do this. We must, after we all hostages back, we give humanitarian aid for Palestinian people. We give after this, we free a lot of we free this, and we make deal, and we bring back all hostages home from position of power of Israel or powerful of Israel. This is what I wanted. This is what I see. This is the best opportunity and the best. This is Israel end the war and make ceasefire to 2 years. 2 years if Hamas bring hostages home. Israel end the war 2 years after Hamas are back. Not Hamas are back. Israel are, what I want to say? I want to say that Israel makes ceasefire and end the war for 2 years if Hamas agree this deal, and the Israel make this. Israel what we doing? We first of all, we in Israel are, what we doing? It's we are I have a blackout. Sorry. We are in Israel wanted that all hostages are back, and then we stop the war for 2 years, and then we destroy and destruction Hamas in Gaza, in Judea and Samaria, in all world, and we fight against them until the last Hamas terrorists. We fight until the end and until the total victory. And we close account with Hamas. This is the solution. 2 years free, and then I think the future of Gaza. I make video. I make link the bottom. I make link the bottom of the video about the future of Gaza, how Gaza look like, and what is the future of the Gaza. And also, I want to say that one moment here. I offer beautiful future for the Middle East and for Gaza. First of all Palestinian after 7 of October doesn't can to allow to right to live in all Palestinian doesn't can to staying in Gaza. All Palestinian must to leave Gaza. Must to leave Gaza from Egypt or from the sea, from cruise ships or from Egypt, and leave or Egypt or Jordan, that when 90% of Jordanian people it's our Palestinian. 90% of Jordanian people are Palestinian. there are one moment. Define. They are defined them Palestinian. 90% of Jordanian citizens define them Palestinian. That are proof that we need and we must to Jordan that be the two-state solution. Jordan is the make Jordan to Palestinian state. Jordan must be Palestinian state and Palestinian country, but have hierarchy that Hashemi elites led by King Abdallah control Jordan, control all Palestinian people, and make them a strong education system. That the Jordanian education system are make de-radicalization and de-jihadification and de-Hamasization and denazification for Palestinian people. And the Jordanian education system give more fund for United States, from Israel, from Saudi Arabia, not Israel, from United States, from Saudi Arabia, from United Arab Emirates, from the Bahrain, from Kuwait, from this, to make education system are build prosperity for Jordan and for Palestinian people. In Palestinian people can to live in this area. This place are called them one moment, are called them Khalif Triangle. Palestinian must give state in Khalif Triangle, in area, special area for Palestinian, this area that Egypt and Saudi aid and Bahrain and the Emirates and the United Arab Emirates and Kuwait and modern Muslim state can to make a coalition that make a de-radicalization and de-jihadification, denazification for Palestinian in this area. This came a Palestinian state are not have jihad, not have this, and the education and the educationize, and this is solution. All Palestinian, also in Gaza and also in Judea and Samaria. And in Gaza, we build the futuristic city. We build amazing futuristic city, New Gaza. I think Gaza can to be a real estate bonanza, biggest real estate bonanza in the whole world. And Gaza can to make the Singapore and Dubai of the Mediterranean Sea, and the Dubai of Mediterranean Sea and Singapore of the Middle East, Singaporean Middle East. And Gaza can to make the that Gaza can to make that Singapore of the Middle East, and can to make the Dubai of Mediterranean Sea. And if all money they are given all years, they are can to do this, but the Hamas lead corruption and the terrible leadership choose or invest all money are give from European Union on this for hate against Israel and against the Jewish people and all this. We must to let all Palestinians go out, kick them out to in Gaza or Judea and Samaria, and make freedom, make freedom for free Palestine from Hamas and from jihad and from Islamism and from and out from the land of Israel, in Jordan, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia, in Neom project in Bahrain, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Iran, Iraq, Syria, Turkey can give them. all of these countries can to give them Libya, Sudan, Ethiopia, Somaliland. Somaliland is a country that the state are want to the state, amazing country, new country, but doesn't have international recognize. And I think Israel and the United States must recognize Somaliland if Somaliland have give to all Palestinian immigration from all 6 million Palestinians from Judea and Samaria and from Gaza to Somaliland, and this can to be real state of Palestine. That's what I believe, and this is and recognizing all world and have the localization, and this is solution. And what we do in Gaza Strip, first of all, we build and do this. We build this. We build this. One moment. We build this. We do this. Okay, I want to explain about this city. This city, New Gaza, can to make Dubai and Singapore of the Mediterranean Sea, and build a beautiful, amazing Riviera from Tzor and Rosh Nikra and Nahariya, Haifa, Tel Aviv, until Rafah. From Gaza, on the way from Gaza until Rafah beach, and this is can to be amazing. And also I wanted to people are know that New Gaza is city that between Yad Mordechai, Shderot, until until the Basor River. This city is the futuristic city, green city in the world, smartest city in the world, digital city, smartest city, skyscraper city, a business center. This city can to be the logistics center of the world, have the biggest port in the world like Singapore, and canal, and Israel built canal between the Elat Gulf to all the way to Gaza, new Gaza city. From this port we make this new, and Israel can to build the futuristic city of Israel, that this city can to have the highest skyscraper in the world, and the biggest port in the world, and the biggest port in the world, this logistics center of the world. And this city is the prosperity city of the world, have the Silicon Valley of the Middle East, center of AI, cryptocurrency, free trade zone, zero taxes, zero tariffs, zero regulation for business, zero bureaucracy for business, zero economic problems. This city is the most prosperity city, and also have zero barriers for economy. This city have a policy for good business policy, and this city have a lot of companies in the world came this city. Chinese companies, Americans companies, big tech companies, South Korean companies, Japanese companies, and almost European companies moved there, and American companies and Chinese companies and Britain companies moved there in this city. And this city came to be Silicon Valley of the Middle East. The biggest money and the biggest the human source came to the human source. One moment, the human capital. The human capital is the biggest. The biggest human capital is the biggest to to is the biggest resource for this. And this city have a metro, rail train, and rail. This a lot of beautiful and a lot of light rail, and desalination water for all region, and this city can do amazingly. And I think I want to speak with you about that this city. Let's back to this one moment. Okay, great. This city is amazing city. This is AI, crypto capital of the world, and the crypto nation, and the AI nation, and this city is the AI city, and the city has zero crime, zero criminals, have strong police, strong, amazing, and a lot of factories in the world because of the place and because of the area are center of the world. And this city have a train from Jordan and Saudi Arabia and this and Dubai and all this connect to the world, and this amazing can to be amazing, futuristic, and weapons industrial, a lot of army weapons in technology industrial. And this city is the center of defense tech, AI tech, and AI technology, deep tech, and clean tech, and climate tech. And this city is the greenest city in the world. Zero city of zero cars, city of only public transportation network, on only metro network of public transportation and underground train, and also a light rail, and for a network of train. And this city tend to have only bicycle, and people are walking in street, and this in a city of 15 minutes. This city can do a lot of trees, a lot of parks, a lot of parks in natural urban nature, a lot of urban nature. And this city, New Gaza, I call them New Gaza, is a futuristic city of Israel that can to have the biggest economic center of Israel. And I want to speak with you about what I'm talking about this city of northern Gaza. What if southern Gaza? What if southern Gaza? Southern Gaza, all Gaza and all Judea and Samaria must be sovereignty under Israel and the Israel nation. All Gaza Strip and all Israel, Judea and Samaria and West Bank must be under control of Israel, and the all Golan Heights must be control of Israel, and all and the border between Lebanon and Israel must be until the Litani River. And this and that's I think. And also I think Israel must to make gift for United States. We must to make gift for the United States of America. The gift is this. First of all, in the Nusirat and Burij area, Israel must to build the biggest golf park in the world, the biggest and the huge golf park in the world, that people from all the region, all the Middle East came to this place to play golf near the Gazan beach. And this came to be the biggest golf park in the world, in the biggest surface and biggest land of the golf park in the world. And the Deir al-Balah area came to Israel must to build and funding and holding the military base, the biggest military base in the United States in the world, and the United States force and army in the world. Israel must to build for United States the biggest military base, the biggest Air Force military base, and the biggest Navy base in the world in the Deir al-Balah area for the United States of America. All this this land must to under a U.S. Base, military base, for the American Army, for the Navy force, for the Air Force, for the surface force. All this is going to be Deir al-Balah, the military base, the biggest military base of the world for America. And this in the Han Yunis and Rafah area, Israel must to build the biggest solar farm, the solar farm area, solar area, that only solar farm to provide solar power for all Israel and all Egypt. And Israel must to make sovereignty to Judea and Samaria, to the Jordan Valley, and make in Judea desert and sovereignty in Judea desert. First of all, we must to make sovereignty to Judea desert and the Jordan River, and we build in in the Jordan Valley, in Jordanian Valley, in the Judea desert. We must to build first of all the biggest solar area and solar farm in the Israel and this, and supply solar energy for all Israel and for all and export solar energy to the other countries like Jordan, like Egypt and all this, and all our neighbors, and Syria and Lebanon, and this, and supply electricity. And then to make sovereignty to all Judea, all what to southern Jerusalem, and make sovereignty to all Samaron, and occupy this and sovereignty this and return this land. And then in Gaza, all what we do, all Palestinian out in Gaza, and Egypt, countries are saying, and then and Turkey, and also in Iran, and also this. And then I want to right now to back about the biggest story that Israel are in the bold in the mainstream media about the Macron decision to recognize Palestinian state. I think the whole wave of countries are recognizing Palestinian state is terrible. It's not good. Palestine doesn't real. It doesn't people doesn't real doesn't identity doesn't have Palestine are define them. Palestine doesn't have identity. Doesn't have nothing. And I think the best thing that we need to do it's the best thing our countries need to do is first of all to solve your problem, solve and fix your problem in your countries, and then they must to 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 this to make decision for other countries after the all countries are perfect. I think the Macron decision is terrible for France, terrible for Europe, terrible for Israel, and we must to prevent this. We must to make against it, and I think we must do policy for entire land of Israel after 7th of October. And this solution, my solution, is the best solution for Palestinian problem. And then I want to the wave of Palestinians are recognized in the countries are recognized in Palestinian state. Let's start with France. France, lead by Macron, lead the France up then 7 years. Macron wanted to running for third cadention, and Macron that your wife of Macron is transgender, and Macron it's destroyed the France. Macron give a lot of Muslims illegal aliens immigration from the terrorist nation like Iran, Iraq, Syria, Turkey, Louvre, Tunisia, Algeria, Mauritania, Mali, Niger, Chad, Sudan, Afghanistan, Yemen, and a lot of terrible states. Macron give them and make them refugee in France, and all immigration leave from allowance, leave only from allowance. The only Muslims illegal immigration leave only from allowances, and also they are the all illegal immigration, aliens immigration destroyed France. France doesn't have one moment. France are failure country right now. People doesn't know how much France is failure, and the leadership in Europe in completely disconnect for the people, and the financial management in France, and also the financial management in France led by Macron is most failure in in ones of the failure. Factories in France are closed, and also a lot of French people are going to pension, and oldest and people are live in allowances, and the French debt is the hundred of trillions dollars, and France low of the low in the debt, and a lot of economic problem ever in France, crimes until from the moment that France give Muslims illegal aliens immigration, France have a lot of crimes higher than ever before, rape rate under up than ever before, violence in family, violence in against men, against women, against Christian, against white people, violence against Jewish people, against Asian people, against Hindus people, and in France it's up than ever before, and violence it's rate it's up than ever before, and France it's under collapse. France it's corruption leadership, and crimes and criminals is the highest in the highest in the world, and France is not safety country anymore. France make to third world country, and a lot of economic problem having France. It's not more France like yesterday. France today, it's terrible country. Let's move to Great Britain, to United Kingdom that today this United Kingdom have terrible right now, have a disconnected prime minister, an unlegitimate government in the whole history of United Kingdom. The leadership of United Kingdom lead by Keir Starmer, Prime Minister of United Kingdom, the most failure Prime Minister in the whole history of the United Kingdom, are destroyed United Kingdom and sell him in the big cells uh, to Islamic jihadists and groups and Muslims Brotherhood, and the all mayor in the biggest city in United Kingdom are Muslims. The mayor of London, the mayor of Britain, bring him. The mayor of Manchester, the mayor of Oxford, the mayor of Luton, the mayor of Liverpool, the mayor of Cambridge. The all mayor in United Kingdom right now are Muslims, and the mayor of the capital city in United Kingdom are Muslims. London, the mayor of London is Muslims. And you listen, hopefully you listen this campaign, and this campaign are proof that our situation in the United Kingdom are terrible, and this result, the all Muslims, illegal aliens, immigration leave from allowances doesn't work, and also they want to occupy United Kingdom. Actually, the immigration from India, from China, from countries that are not Muslims, are a part of the Britain society, or a Christian nation in Africa, are part of Britain society, but the Muslims immigration doesn't part of society. They want to control and destroy the society, and this is the situation. And we must understand this, and the United Kingdom have an economic decline, the trouble and the worst economic decline than ever before. This decline doesn't, United Kingdom doesn't see 300 years, 3,000 years, so 300 years, 300 years. This decline is terrible in United Kingdom, 300 years, and this is terrible for United Kingdom. Economic are failure and failure and failure and failure. The taxes so high, the tariffs so high, the regulation for business and bureaucracy for business so high. The Brexit doesn't manage good, and the United Kingdom are terrible economy. Companies are leave United Kingdom, and billionaires are leave United Kingdom for United Arab Emirates. Have a rich and capitalistic policy, economic policy, and have a air train to leave United Kingdom. 79% of the Gen Z, youngest people in United Kingdom, want to leave United Kingdom for the other country, Portugal, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Christian doesn't feel safe in the United Kingdom, but in Dubai, Christian feel the most safe in the world, more than United Kingdom or France. In France, all 2 weeks, churches burn. It's terrible by Muslims immigration. It's terrible, and also Britain is not good situation. It's a terrible country, United Kingdom, in this government. 90% of all Britain people are against recognizing Palestinian state. This decision to recognize in Palestinian state is disconnect from Britain people. The majority of Britain people doesn't want this. They want the Muslims kicked out, and this is solution. And France disconnect for the people. The government disconnect for the people. Britain disconnect from the people. This government in Britain, and also Spain have the most corruption leader, communist, socialist, Pedro Sanchez. His corruption leader, failure leader, are surrendered by radical Islamist fundamentalists, jihadists, and Barcelona and Madrid and Valencia. A lot of cities in Spain are occupied by radical Islamist jihadists, and Spain is no longer Spain because the radical Islamists are occupied Spain, and Spain give a lot of Muslims illegal immigration, and this is terrible. And the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, is so much corrupted, so much corruption, and we must change in Spain. The majority of Spanish people, the white Spanish Christian people, are against illegal immigrants, Muslims. I hopefully that have changed. Italy have a good Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, and Sweden are occupied by radical Islamist fundamentalists, jihadists. Sweden are occupied of them, of pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas protests, and are occupied Sweden. And Sweden criminals and crimes is up than ever before. Sweden is lost. It's lost. And Sweden is under collapse, economic collapse, so much collapse economy, and is the decline economy, no growth anymore, inflation than ever before, debt than ever before, because of all Muslims illegal immigration leave from allowance cents, and social policy. This is terrible. Sweden are under collapse, and this recognized Palestinian state. Let's move to speak about Turkey. More countries are support Hamas, not support Palestine, support Hamas. Turkey, the danger country lead by danger, terrible leader, Recep Erdogan, are wanted to destroy, to make damage, to make to threat, to make problem. Erdogan is the terrible leader, are make Turkey failure, third world state, inflation higher than ever before. Democracy, Erdogan destroy the Turkish democracy and make Erdogan make Turkey dictatorship, Islamic jihadist fundamentalist dictatorship. I want to bring back and return to 7th century and live in fantasy. And I think Erdogan is the dangerous leader one of the dangerous dictators and leaders in the world, and want to return and renew the Ottoman Empire. It's terrible leader, but Erdogan, it's a terrible leader, so much terrible leader. Erdogan wanted the Turkey are failure. The debt is higher than ever before. The government doesn't have money. Inflation high, so much highest in the world. In Turkey, the cost of living in Turkey higher than ever before. Also in France, the cost of living in France higher than ever before. Macron doesn't nothing to solve this problem. And Turkey have a cost of living terrible that a lot of Turkish people leave Turkey to Europe, to other countries. This is terrible. Erdogan destroyed Turkey economy and crashed it. And Erdogan destroyed the Turkish lira, destroyed the Turkish democracy, he destroyed a lot of things in Turkey. And this leader, before to concern your people, concern to solve and fix the problem of your country, it's put all attention and all resources to help Palestinians in Gaza and Hamas and terrorism and destroy Israel. The anti-Semitic leader in the world, and also Canada recognizing Palestinian state. Canada give 2.5 million Muslims illegal aliens immigration. All the illegal Muslims immigration in Canada, it's leave from allowances. It's Canada have the most failure healthcare and healthy system in the all Western world, in the all OECD countries, and Canada have the failure uh, healthy system, more failure healthy system than Israel have better healthy system than Canada, and Canada have terrible education system in the OECD. Canada have cost of living, the most terrible cost of living. The most and majority of Canadian Gen Z Canadian doesn't can to allow himself to buy apartment, to buy house, to buy apartment, buy house, buy home, and the majority of Canadian doesn't can to allow himself to buy home and houses and house. That is terrible. The cost of living in Canada is terrible. The food is so expensive. The apartment so expensive. The what the all it's so expensive. All what you think so expensive in Canada, and Canada, it's a failure country, failure country, and we must to change it. And before, and the Canadian leadership so corruption, and the Canada have a conflict with the United States, China, United States, and India make a lot of tariffs in Canadian goods, and Canadian trades give a lot of tariffs to the United States, China, Russia, India. Everybody boycott Canada because Canada is failure. Canada must do deep change, deep restart, but before this, Canada concern and recognize Palestinian state. Before the Canadian people put Canadian people last and put Palestinian first. This policy of Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada. And also, all the European leadership and Canadian leadership are disconnected from reality absolutely, and put Palestinian first, then your people that put last. Your people put this leadership, progressive leadership, in your people put last, in Palestinian people put first. That is terrible situation. We doesn't can to do this anymore. And also, Russia, there are war crimes in Ukraine and make genocide in Ukraine and make a terrible thing in Ukraine, recognize and support Hamas and support Palestinian people. But the debt higher than ever before. The Russian ruble are collapsed. Inflation in Russia high so much, and the economic problem. The government doesn't have money. A lot of economic problem. Moscow have a lot of transportation problem in Moscow, and cost of living in Russia is so high than ever before. In war in Ukraine, and Russia have a sanction in all world. And before and until every country doesn't have sanction for Russia, Russia support Palestinian and support Hamas. Also Iran, that are make a war crime, make a lot of genocide, a lot of terrible things. Iran concern and support Palestinian people, put Palestinian first, and Iran civilian and Iran citizen last. And this is terrible. We must, but optimistic. Iran regime are going to fall and collapse like Soviet Union collapsed. Iran regime going to collapse. Optimistic in this thing, and also I want to finish this video in optimistic view. Optimistic. This, who is the only one country in Europe are prosperity right now, Poland. Why Poland? Because Poland in all this decade did you know Poland in all this last decade doesn't give once of Muslims illegal immigration? You know that Poland in all this last decade not give any Muslims illegal immigration. This is good policy. This is great policy. This is so much great policy. Poland is the best country in Europe, the best state in Europe. Why? Because Poland have a great leadership. Poland has the best leadership, and Poland I want to explain something about Poland. Poland is the country doesn't the only one state, Poland and Hungary and Slovakia and Czech Republic and Denmark doesn't give any illegal Muslims aliens immigration. In Poland they have a lot of Chinese immigration, Ukrainian 4 million Ukrainian immigration are part of Poland and Polish society, and Poland also the GDP of Poland higher than all Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Britain, Ireland, Sweden, Spain, and all these countries. Poland, the GDP of Poland are high of them, of Japan and all this and this. And Poland is the best country in all Europe. The best country in all Europe. You need this. You must understand this. Poland is the best. Poland is the best country in all Europe, because that not give in all last decade they are not give anyone any Muslims illegal immigration. Poland is the best country in Europe, have the highest GDP in Europe, highest GDP per capita in Europe, low taxes, low tariffs, great relationship with European Union, China, and the United States and India. And Israel and Poland trade with all of them and make free trade of them. Warsaw is the best, cleanest city. You must travel in Warsaw. Best, cleanest city, no homelesses, no drugs, no problem, no illegal aliens immigration, not crimes, no criminals, zero crimes ever in Poland. There is strong police in Poland. It is the safest and safety country in all Europe. Poland is the best state and the best country in all Europe. And Poland is growth than ever before. And the GDP of Poland moved than $1 trillion. And also Poland joined to the 20G state, the 20 biggest economies in the world. And Poland are prosperity era than ever before, because have a lot of birth rate, highest birth rate in all European Union with the white Polish people, and have allowances for improve birth rate and make children for Polish people, and doesn't give Muslims illegal immigration. And this is change democracy for good democracy for the Poland people, and have a lot of high-tech companies move to Poland, and Poland is the best economy in all Europe. And also Hungary and this other story. And then any state doesn't to surrender the progressive wave and the progressive woke to recognize Palestinian state is Japan. Japan is amazing country, amazing state. I love Japan. I love Japanese people. Japan doesn't recognize in South Korea, doesn't recognize and not recognize Palestinian state because they know the damages of Palestinian state. Did you know Japan in 20 in 2011 Japan make Islam out of the law and make Islam a illegal religion in Japan. Why? Because uh, 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 13 Japanese workers in oil company died in Algeria in a terrorist attack of Al-Qaeda. Japan make rule and make decision to put Islam out of the law and make Islam illegal religion in Japan. And any country doesn't call to Japan fascist and doesn't call damages to Japan against Japan because Japan have the best country, have the safe cities, secure borders, safety cities, doesn't homelessness, doesn't have drugs in the cities, doesn't have all cities are clean air, clean everything, clean energy, clean a lot of things. In Japan is the best country in the world, I think, right now. Japan, even the birth rate is very low in Japan. They doesn't give illegally Muslims the immigration because they know the damages of the Islam and they make Islam illegally. In Japan, I think we make this law in Israel to copy paste the Japanese law about Islam to in Israel. I think to learn in Israel, we must learn a lot of with Japan. Japan is the best friend for Israel. Japan and Israel is friend than ever before, because Japan love Israel. Japanese people love Jewish people, love Israel, learn Torah, learn the Bible, and Japan is support Israel, and we are appreciating. I congratulations Japan, and I appreciate Japan. I very appreciate that Japan, and Japan protect Israel and vote for Israel in the UN voters and protect Israel in the UN votes. And Japan and Israel have strong relationship, and Israel must help Japan in the war with North Korea, and South Korea in war with North Korea. Israel must to make allies with North Korea, with not North Korea. Israel must to make allies with South Korea, Japan against North Korea, and to build allies, Israeli, Japanese, South Korean allies to improve the better future for the humanity. And I call a lot of Israelis or Jewish people live in the United States or live in Canada or live in almost Canada and Europe. All Jewish people are living in France, Canada, Europe, and also this must to go and move from Japan. Japan have the best state in the world. I want to live there in the future. I love Japan. I think Japan is the best state in the world, the best country and the best state in the world. I want to travel here in one day. Japan is amazing country, amazing state. And also Japan have a amazing state and amazing country. And did you know in China to be Muslims is a mental sick, mental healthy sick, and this is amazing in China. All the eastern state, China, South Korea, Japan, Islam it's illegal in these countries, in this both Korean and China and Japan have Islam it's illegal in Myanmar and in India and Vietnam. We must learn from them a lot, how to manage with Islam, how to cope and deal with Islam. Israel must learn them a lot, and I think Israel must to make allies with India, make allies with China, to close to China, close to India, close to Japan, to South Korea, to Vietnam, close. This is the allies for Israel, and to improve right wing in Europe. How much right wing in Europe, and Europe must be right wing nationalist European and Britain and all this, and improve their relationship with the Republican Party, between Israel and Republican Party. And we must this so much. Okay, everybody, thank you to join me this video. Please subscribe and follow for more. Please subscribe and ring the bell, and doing subscribe and follow me for more, and join the community. And please, very please, I wanted please one thing for you, doing subscribe and follow my channel. Thank you very much. Ciao.